Welcome to Oxfordshire Uncovered, and welcome to the island of Faringdon. Now, you're probably wondering, Tom, what are you talking about? Faringdon isn't an island, it's just a town in Oxfordshire. Well, I'm partly right, but only when referring to the town's function in World War II as an anti-tank island. Now, you're probably thinking, what is an anti-tank island? Well, in this video we'll be going into all the details of what an anti-tank island is and its purpose. And we'll also show you different features sort of located around the town that still remain, which show Faringdon's island history. So without further ado, my name is Tom Hutt and welcome to the island of Faringdon. The year is 1940 and the fear of invasion from Germany is high. Now a Home Defence Executive was formed under the leadership of Field Marshal Lord Ironside. Now he set to work to make Britain into a fortress. Now most famously he ordered the stop lines to be created. Now that is a series of lines that stretched across Britain, made up of pillboxes, anti-tank trenches, anti-infantry structures. He also utilised natural defences as part of the lines. Now Faringdon is part of the GHQ line, which is the General Headquarters line. Now the town actually falls into the red section of the GHQ line, which runs from Malmesbury all the way to Abingdon. Now we've already covered Abingdon's defences in one of my earlier videos, which I'll put a little link to in the description below. Also, along the line in strategic positions were what they called anti-tank islands. Now these were always placed at a crucial defensive point along the line, and their main purpose was to slow the Germans down, because as seen in France and other countries, the devastating effects of the Germans' blitzkrieg tactic was also known lightning war, in which speed was crucial to win. So slowing the Germans down so you can focus on your counter-offensive was the key to victory. Now to achieve this, the anti-tank islands would have featured roadblocks, pillboxes, and there was even some houses which were adjusted to turn them into firing positions, which we'll see a bit later on. Also, the islands were usually surrounded by trenches, which would hopefully turn these small little towns into an iron fortress. So why was Faringdon chosen to be an anti-tank island? Well, the main reason simply is geography. Just down the road at Radcot is the River Thames, and more importantly, Radcot Bridge. Now this is one of the key river crossings that the Germans would have tried to capture. It was part of their plan to capture all the Thames bridges. From there they could have moved upwards into the town and then further on into the county. Now Faringdon is perfectly located just between Swindon and Oxford. Now that would be crucial for the Germans to take Swindon, mainly for its large railway infrastructure. And Oxford, of course, which was going to be a major city and Hitler's future capital. Also, the town had its own railway station. Again, another great advantage for the Germans. If they could establish a rail link, it would be a fantastic opportunity for them. And then down the road in Shallingford, no more than 20 minutes actually down the road, there was an RAF base. Another great target again for the Germans. And then you've got Bryce just up the road as well. So you can see why its location was vital for the defence of the country and the county. Also, when you look at Faringdon itself, like behind me, the streets are really narrow with some really tight bends, which is a defensive dream. You can't fit large tanks and armoured vehicles down a lot of the side streets here. So some of these roads you would easily be able to defend. To send infantry down here and you've got grenades coming out the windows, Molotovs on top of vehicles, it's such an easy defensive position. Also, another huge advantage that Faringdon did have was the Faringdon Folly Tower. This 100-foot tower is a great viewing point for the surrounding area. Now the Home Guard did actually use this as an observation post, so an attack could be easily spotted from anywhere around the area. So who defended the town? As we've just noted, the town being a crucial defensive point had to be defended by the very best. And in 1940, a company of the Royal Marines actually moved into the town. As well as the Marines, you had the normal Home Guard who played their part, and then you had the Upper Thames Patrol. Now the Upper Thames Patrol was basically the Home Guard of the river. They would have looked after the defences at the bridge near Radcot. Now later on in the war, Canadian troops were also based in the town. And also a fun fact for you, this house, Northgate House, I'll put up on the screen now, located in London Street, for a short time was actually the headquarters for Churchill's secret army, until it actually moved up the road to Coles Hill. So yes, this town was definitely defended by the very best. So now we've had a look at what an anti-tank island was and its functions. Let's now have a wander around the town and in the area to see if we can find what remains of the anti-tank island of Faringdon. Right, so here we are at Radcot Bridge. There it is there, one of the oldest river crossings in the UK. Fun fact for you. So that's Radcot Bridge, of course we've got the Thames right in front of us. All this would have been defended by the Upper Thames Patrol with a little bit of help from the normal Home Guard as well. I've come down here, I know it's out of Faringdon. Faringdon is literally straight up the road there. So imagine the Germans have come here first, they've captured this bridge, but they've had to deal with this, which is a Type 28 pillbox. This would have been used with a Hotchkiss gun or one of the smaller anti-tank guns. This one has actually been used at the moment. It's really cool. It's being converted to be an office for the glamping and camping company, which is located just off the Radcot Bridge here. We'll have a quick look at that in a second. But yeah, this was the main crossing up to Faringdon, which we'll now go towards and have a look at the first defences and then the other approaches into Faringdon's defences. But let's have a quick look at this pillbox first. Ooh. This is actually really cool, so it's what I would love to do if I had the opportunity to. As you can see, they've put a window in the firing place. Really good position really, because you would be able to look straight over the bridge there, fire onto it, and then there's also any small river craft as well, you'd be also under fire from there. A brazier up there, that's quite high to be fair, but I guess they've actually put that high up. It's quite rare, I think, because it's sort of in line with the bridge. So let's go around here. Another quite high brazier up there as well. Then you got another one there, sort of looking out the back of it. Yeah, it's now a shop and glamping reception, which is really cool. That's what I would love to do.
Right, so now we've had a very quick look at this one. We're now going to head down the road to see the next one. So we'll see you in a second, just a little bit further down the road. Right, so we are now here. We've just come down from Radcot, which is down that way. This is the Radcot Road, which you see in front of us. This is the location of the second pillbox. This whole area is completely changed now. It's been modernised, walls are rebuilt, roads have been done properly. But anyway, there would have been a roadblock here, and then covering that roadblock was this. This is another Type 22 pillbox. Now this one's actually a bit unique because it's been, as you can see, it's been completely rendered over. All the firing positions have been filled in. Literally no sign. It literally looks like a just a concrete block. But there is the entrance still. As you can see, it's completely blocked it down there. No chance of ever getting in there. But actually, it looks like this whole, you would have walked in from this side down that way. But one of the most unique things about this Type 22 pillbox is not the actual box itself, but what's sat on top of it. This is actually a statue that's meant to represent Africa. You can sort of tell because round the corner here you got the head of the Sphinx there, very Egyptian looking. So yeah, that's meant to represent Africa. It's all to do with the Faringdon house, which is just behind the statue there. It belongs to them. It actually once belonged in the Crystal Palace Gardens at one point. It was brought. He also owns another one in the grounds there somewhere. But this one is now the overlooker of the Radcot Road. It is the most random place to put it. But yeah, it's now just sat on top of the pillbox. Also sort of around here, I'll probably mention it a bit later on, but these fields as well, these would have been defended. There has been recorded evidence of what they call slit trenches being placed, well, dug in there to sort of help defend this open field. Also in the grounds of Faringdon House, which is behind me here. It's all sort of down that way. Right, let's crack on and move on to the next one, because I'm not sure the legality of where I am at the moment, because it's in between a wall and a fence. Kind of a no man's land, but let's get out of it before we get into any trouble. See you just up the road at the next defences. So we've just, a little bit of a diversion, we've just been to the pillbox down there on the Radcot Road. Here we are just out looking. It's an amazing view really, all the way down to Radcot. I mentioned earlier, as part of the sort of island defences, they would have put sort of slit trenches in these fields to cover that approach there. And then they would have also utilised houses for defence, which we're going to see a little bit later on. But then these aren't actually ever described anywhere as something they would have used for defence. But you've got to think, if you've got this huge open approach from Radcot, you would definitely use these houses here as a excellent firing position down into that field. The view from sort of these top windows here would have been great to cover there. Just sniper fire from up there, covering across that field, would be deadly, especially if you have like a machine gun or something covering from up there across that field as well. It would have been a really good position to take up, and I'm sure if they needed to, they would have commandeered the use of those houses. Right, so let's not get distracted now. We're now going to go on to London Street, have a look at that approach from there. See you in a second. So we're now here on the London Road approach to Faringdon. Faringdon's off that way. So we've already had a look at the defences down at Radcot, sort of going up to Faringdon that way. So let's have a scenario in our head that they're defending Radcot at the moment. It's slowing them down. They're really struggling. So they've gone through the fields this way and tried to come back round and approach Faringdon from this way down the London Road. So the first defences that we can see on the London Road approach, now these look like just an entrance to a farmer's gateway here, but actually these had a pivotal role in World War II. So they've been sort of joined. You can see there's like a join here, but they would have actually been concrete bollards. They wouldn't have been sat here either. They would have been placed in the road, and they would have actually reduced it to like a single width in the road, so only one vehicle can come through, to make a nice choke point. Because a bit further down there is a pillbox which is looking perfectly over the road, which we'll go have a look at in just a second. Another also cool little thing that you can't tell too well on the video, but because of the ivy, but this wall, it's the same sort of height all the way down to sort of where the pillbox starts. We'll walk down there in a second to show you properly. It drops as soon as you get near the pillbox, so it had maximum coverage across the road. So let's go have a look at that pillbox now. Recording that. So here you can see sort of wall, bang, drops straight down. And then let's just keep going. Bit of a causeway here as well. Oop. Oh, bit of a walk. And here we are. So if you don't know already, this is what they call a Type 22 pillbox. It is, oh come on, is it hexagonal or octagonal? Octagonal. It's either hexagonal or octagonal. I'm having a bad brain day today. But yeah, this is a Type 22 pillbox. It was mainly designed for infantry use. So you got loophole there, one there, and one there. So you're covering all three approaches. So you got one facing the road that way. If they did capture the town and come up this way, you got a defence that way. That one there, which is sort of just covers the road perfectly, and then you've got the third one there, which covers that approach coming that way. Let's have a quick peeky boo inside this pillbox. Oh yeah, you've also got another loophole here which covers the rear entry. Also covers this field as well if they did manage to get over this way. Entranceway has actually been designed to sort of stop grenades getting straight into the door. Just an extra layer of defence really to stop that happening. This one's crumbling a bit, it's in bad condition. You can see there's massive gaps there. Ooh. Yeah, this is inside the Type 22. If I put this up to this loophole here, you can see the coverage of the road. If you had a nice Bren gun just sat here, you'd have an absolute great time with a Bren gun. You can't really see out this one. Yeah, this one's really overgrown, but the inside is still really nice. Yeah. So that's the Type 22 on the London Road. So let's now go have a quick look. Oh look, here comes a... Oh, it is German, it's a Mercedes. The only time they've actually been able to get in this town. Right, let's pop into the next defence, which is just down the road a bit actually. So, see you down there. We're now back into Faringdon itself on London Street. So we've just had a look at the bunkers up there and the roadblocks. So if they did manage to finally crack through there, which they probably would have, it wasn't too much of a hard defence there. I think it's just to slow them down again. So they would have got down to here, which is London Street. Sort of Faringdon Market Square is down there. But down here is... oh, another VW. Won't be a second. So this is Coach Lane, and that building there, sort of halfway down on the left, we'll go down and have a proper look at it in a second. That is actually the old police station. Now, during World War II, a lot of police stations were used as like the headquarter for the defence of the town, home guard. Because you remember, a lot of places didn't have telephones, so the police station would have been the main area with a guaranteed telephone. So that was a highly defended building down there. But we'll go have a look in a minute, because you'll see it's actually got a loopholed wall. So what would have happened, you can imagine armoured division come down here, it would have gone, apologise for the accent, the police station is down there, we need to capture the police station. Scheiße, we cannot fit a tank down there. Send the infantry. So you'd send the infantry down there, and you'll be met with a Bren gun facing you. Absolute massacre. So now let's have a quick run down there and have a look at that loophole wall. So we are now here at the, as you can see on this nice beautiful sign that's still remaining, the county police station, and this is actually the loopholed wall here. It's really cool that this remains, but yeah, you would have had a nice little machine gun post there. I think they've probably bricked it up a little bit, but it's cool to still see that. But yeah, if you sort of turn round, you can see from that machine gun position, they would have been able to cover this road completely. It would have actually been absolute hell to come down here, because not only have you got the machine gun position, you got all these windows above, which would also provide even more cover. But the other side is still open, but I think with sort of development over time, they've probably covered up the loophole on this side, because it would be silly not to do it on both, especially if you've got that nice approach coming from Radcot that way. Right, so that is it for this side of the defences. See you in a second. I've sort of covered nearly all the defences now, so we've had a look at the defences coming in from Radcot way, sort of this where the red arrow is there for you. So we've also had a look at the defences coming in from London Street, which is this coming in from this way into Faringdon. And then we've also had a little look at the loopholed area with the police station just down Coach Lane, so where the red circle is there. Now, strangely, there is no defences on the database that I've used to find all this information out. There is no defences coming in from this side of Faringdon, which does seem really strange, but not everything has been recorded on the databases. There is stuff lost, there's still stuff to be found, etc. But I reckon that there would have been defences on this side, they just don't exist on maps now. There would have been roadblocks there,
There could have been pillboxes that have been demolished and long gone now due to redevelopment in the area. There was probably pillboxes as well further down the road there as well. But yeah, there's no defence for that side. But my guess is if you were coming round this way to try and get into this area of Faringdon, the grounds of Faringdon House, which is, I'll just put the circle, this area here, like I said earlier in the video, they would have all had slit trenches in them, which would have made that difficult to get round that way. There's also sort of Faringdon House itself, which would have probably been full of people defending that area. So to actually come across this way would have been a challenge in itself. And then yeah, there more than likely was just standard roadblocks, maybe a pillbox on that side, but nothing has been officially recorded that I can find. Then sort of there is the other one area that we haven't covered, and that is the approach from Faringdon from this way. But again, I don't really believe they had defended that area as much, because they were hoping the Germans mainly would have come up from Radcot this way, and then they would have tried to encircle the outside of the town through London Street and the other entrance this way. They wouldn't have actually been able to sort of get right behind Faringdon and come in from that approach there, sort of where the A420 is now. So yeah, that is actually it for all that we can actually physically see today of the defences that are left. So thank you very much. And there we are, so thank you very much for watching this video. I've stupidly actually forgotten to film an outro, so I'm going to have to do this the other way around. But I hope you have enjoyed this video. I've put links in the description below for some really good websites with great information on this topic, all relating to World War II in Faringdon. So do please check those out if you want to learn more about this subject. As always, please hit the like button on the bottom of the video, that really does help. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you haven't done that already. All you have to do is just press the big button that says subscribe, and also hit the little bell logo next to it to make sure you're notified when I upload in the future. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again next time on Oxfordshire Uncovered.